China dissents U.S. charge calling for port visits to Taiwan by naval force. Reuters by Christian Shepherd and David Brunstrom. Beijing or Washington. China reacted indignantly and said it had descended to Washington after a U.S. Senate advisory group affirmed a bill requiring the resumption of port visits to Taiwan by the U.S. naval force. Surprisingly, since the United States embraced a one-China strategy in 1979. The require the port visits was contained in a variant of the U.S. National Defense Authorization Bill affirmed by the U.S. Senate Armed Services Committee on Wednesday. The bill would need to pass the full Senate and House and be affirmed by President Donald Trump to end up law. Asked about the arrangement, Chinese Foreign Ministry Representative Liu Kang on Thursday called it intruding in Beijing's interior undertakings and included China can't acknowledge it. The enactment requires the restoration of consistent port visits by the U.S. naval force to the Taiwanese port of Kaohsiung, or some other appropriate port, and would permit the U.S. Pacific Command to get Taiwanese visits. The bill additionally guides the Pentagon to enable Taiwan to build up an indigenous undersea fighting system and prescribes fortified key collaboration with Taipei. We express grave concern and firm resistance to the relative bill gone by the Senate Armed Services Committee, Liu Kang said. We have likewise stopped grave portrayals about the Taiwan-related substance of the bill with the applicable bureau of the U.S. government. The representative said the bill was infringing upon the standards of U.S.-China relations and approached Washington to stop military drills with and arms deals to Taiwan to maintain a strategic distance from additionally impeding comprehensively agreeable China-U.S. relations. The advance of the bill matches with, as indicated by U.S. authorities, Trump ending up noticeably progressively baffled with China over its inaction on North Korea and trade. According to the authorities, Trump, who frightened Beijing subsequent to accepting office by breaking with many years of point of reference and conversing with Taiwan's president, is presently considering exchange activities against Beijing, in spite of having piled adulate on Chinese President Xi Jinping after an April summit. The U.S. naval force has not made port calls to Taiwan since 1979, when Washington embraced the purported one-China strategy, perceiving Beijing